This is Frederick from the techno label Detroit, Berlin, and today I've got the Doepfer A-108, the VCF8 from Doepfer. It's a transistor ladder filter by Doepfer, a little bit based on the Moog filter. It's a pretty basic module, but you can do a lot with this filter because it has so many outputs from 6, 12, 24, 48 decibel output. There's even a 30, a 36 decibel output, an 18. You can, via jumpers on the back, change these outputs, but the way it's set up in default position, with the jumpers in default position, it's the most musical and useful. It also got a bandpass output and many CV controls. CV1, 2 and 3 and CV2 and 3 have both attenuators, so you can feed 3 different CV signals in there to control the filter. This patch is pretty complex. I'm running it through a wave multiplier, a matrix mixer, a voltage inverter, 2 sequential switches, the clock divider. I'm starting everything from the Moog matriarch. I'm also running it through the mini stereo mixer and through 2 spring reverbs to create this patch where you have this filter centered and then a copy of that filter from different outputs panned to the left and the right in a rhythmical way. The rhythms are generated from the gate from the matriarch of the sequence that's running on the matriarch to the clock divider. That will divide everything to the sequential switches. And yeah, this creates this stereo panning of the outputs of the VCF8. It's a way I really like to use the VCF8, and I think it's a pretty overlooked filter. It's a pretty smooth filter, but it does have some grit because the level on the filter, you can pretty much drive it to a high level. You've got an emphasis which doesn't, like a regular Moog filter, cut off all the bass frequencies. It still keeps a few of those bass frequencies and it will self-oscillate. The 48 dB low pass output is already normalized into the feedback, so when you put something else in there you will break that signal and you will get some kind of other feedback frequency. It's a versatile module, I would say, for a filter. I think it's pretty versatile. And yeah, let's maybe go over the patch real quick. I already told you which modules I'm using, but let's break down the patch and see what I can come up with. You can only hear like the filter and the 48 decibel output I'm controlling right now. Also running it through an attenuator polarizer, so I can control the filter with a big knob. Now I'm adding some resonance. Adding some more wave multiplying. I'm adding those band sounds, and it's really a mess of cables because I routed so many outputs to those sequential switches, but the effect is great. AV3, control voltage 3 input. It's coming from the ADSR from the matriarch, and it gives this percussive opening of the filter, so this percussive sound. The more I close the filter and open the attenuator, the more it will throw the filter open in an aggressive way, or when I add some sustain, to just open the filter. Filter can become pretty bright, not in a harsh way, but just bright. So now I bypassed the wave multiplier, and the matriarch has like this really low sequence going on. You can feel that nice round bass. Really goes deep. Driving the input, and it gets really saturated, which is pretty. Adding some higher pitches from the sequence. Turning down the audio volume and adding some of that emphasis, that resonance. Okay, I'm going to record like really simple sequence. Okay. Now it's beginning to squelch. It's pretty bright. It's not extremely acidic. It's more like a clean, pretty squelch that is, in my opinion, very usable. It does give the sound some character. It's not that it's totally sterile, it's a nice, warm, simple filter, with a beautiful sound. Maybe let's open the panning again. coming from the sequential switch, and all the different slopes from the VCF8. Which lends itself really to some rhythmical stereo panning of sounds, noises. Here's the squelchiness again, and let's maybe let it self-resonate. The lower the volume is, the more chilpy the resonance gets, and the brighter and the cleaner. If you turn the audio level all the way down, you get a pretty clean filter. And the squelchiness is really apparent. And it really self-resonates pretty much. Let's introduce that wave multiplying. You already got that saturation, that distortion. And just really crunchy. I'm controlling the filter knob just by this really big knob I made myself, and it's actually the attenuator polarizer module from Doepfer. But I really like the big knob because I can send it to multiple destinations and have really fine control. And when something is really clouded with cables, you get a nice way to just tweak the knob. Okay, maybe let's just remove some cables, make a fresh patch. So you got the outputs. These are all the outputs from the bandpass. 48 decibel low pass, 24 decibel low pass, 12 decibel low pass and 6 decibel low pass filter. Then you got the CV inputs. These are 3 inputs. The first one you can't attenuate. This will control the filter. Second one has attenuation. Third one has attenuation. They all control the filter frequency. Then you got the resonance, the audio level with the audio input. And then you got the feedback input, which the 48 decibel is normalized to. If you put some other outputs or external modules in there, then you get another feedback chain. Of course, if you use external modules, different modules, then you need to feed it with the same signal, otherwise you won't get that feedback loop. But you get different kinds of emphasis, and you can really connect that module in a totally different way. Let's maybe set up a patch on the Moog matriarch just using that filter instead of the Moog filter that's inside. Really smooth filter. Really gets nasal when you turn it all the way up. Really brittle and a little bit crunchy. You really open that filter. Maybe now we got some low sounds, so okay, I like this. It's not a perfect filter by any means. It's a really nice one, I think. Let's take another output. Let's just take the opposite from the 48, which we heard earlier in this video. Let's take the 6 decibel output. I think it has a nice quality to it, that resonance, that frequency, that's almost vocal. I think it's pretty musical. Let's add some level. It gets nicely saturated. More emphasis, more resonance. It can really do aggressive stuff if you not really push it, but just turn up the notch a little bit. It has a musical vibe, I think. A truly underappreciated filter. Let's change the sequence because it's getting tedious. and connect an ADSR. It gets really plucky. Lower you turn the volume, the more prominent this resonating frequency will become. Has a grit, but not in a totally, like, really aggressive way. It still stays under control. Let's take another slope, maybe the band pass. Now let's patch a different output into the feedback input. You want something really aggressive. The band pass out into the feedback is, I think, very nice. I think that is very nice, and let me just try to maybe this one. I can take the band pass, send it to maybe the wasp filter, and the wasp filter output back into that feedback, and let's see what that actually accomplishes. This is nice. Let's take the pitch out from the matriarch and feed it into the wasp filter. becoming pretty useful. And this controls the filter. This punchy. I think this is rhythmically very useful. I think this is rhythmically nice, really nice. Audio level open, saturating the VCF, closing the audio level, letting that emphasis, that resonance through, and of course the wasp filter. Let me think in the comment section down below what you think about this filter, about the sequences, and the way it interacts with other modules like the wasp filter, like the wave multiplier and other modules. Suggestions for upcoming module tutorials and overviews, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I would really like to thank you for watching. I've got a Patreon page. Please join my Patreon if you want to support the channel beyond YouTube. I can make many more videos when I got your support, so that would be really nice. And yeah, hope to see you next time. Bye bye.